What is going on, everyone? It's your guy Cole Jackson back here on Road Graders, and we're going to be diving into Lamar Jackson's game against the Cleveland Browns, taking a look at some of the big pieces for why I think they had so much success in this game, especially around some of I kept seeing people talk about the first half struggles, and I really wanted to dive into what does the film say, because I thought the broadcast team, when they popped up the video showing what they were calling first half struggles, I thought they did a really poor job of kind of breaking it down on in terms of what Lamar, was doing, what the offensive line was doing, who was open, that sort of thing. So I thought it was pretty misleading. So I wanted to go back through all the film. Obviously, in the second half, that's when the big plays started coming, and that's kind of where I want to start here, because Next Gen Stats putting out a really good piece here. All four of Lamar Jackson's touchdown passes targeted receiver over 10 yards downfield against the Browns. And this is the biggest piece, in my opinion, that has taken Lamar Jackson over the top. I think it's probably one of the most under-discussed thing, because so many people focused on the accuracy piece. Saying accuracy broadly is just missing so much nuance to it. It was really the deep ball. And, if you go back through when the offense started to sputter in like 2020, 21, 22, obviously there's injury concerns in there as well. But it was really the deep ball that was the missing piece. And then you look at the stats since the start of 2024, Lamar Jackson has thrown 32 touchdown passes over 10 air yards, 10 more than the next closest QB, which is Joe Burrow at 22. Just really shows what Lamar Jackson has developed into. So we're going to dive into it. If you guys are looking forward to this breakdown, if you're looking forward to adding some of this nuance to the conversation, hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're new here. And as always, Road Graders is brought to you by our friends at Profit X. So let's take a look here quickly, because we kind of saw two interesting weeks for the Cleveland Browns defense. I'm going to open my screen brush here really quick. So we had, notably Joe Burrow only throwing for 113 yards on this defense last week. And, the Browns did what a lot of teams do against Joe Burrow, and that's play too high. So they played a lot of that cover two. They tried to keep the ball, in front of them, force them to kind of eat underneath, and you can see it here with the green dots, right? Like a lot of balls thrown underneath, not a lot of air yards on these balls. Obviously, we can see the white dots there that are 20 plus. So the Bengals tried to take some deep shots, because who wouldn't with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase? And you can see those deep shots that they did take, they're all to the sidelines where they're trying to attack, either cover two or cover three. I think it was 75% of snaps came with cover one man, cover two zone, or cover three zone. So, they had a very intentional plan to try and, protect against that deep ball, whether it was playing man and, asking Denzel Ward and Greg Newsome to do a lot. But then the Ravens come in and, Lamar connects on those shots that Joe Burrow didn't. And that was really the difference in this one. That's how those air yards got up. And, you can see the ball just being progressively moved further downfield. Obviously, a ton of green dots within the line of scrimmage too. Lamar did a really good job of taking what the defense gave him. But when big plays need to be made, when the ball needed to be moved downfield, that's what Lamar did. So let's start here. I want to take a look at what some of the so-called misses were. So we're going to start here. This is 3rd and 7, Q1 756. So this is going to be, you're going to get Zay Flowers motioning in. It skips and then it plays again. Sorry. Zay's going to come in and just basically run a corner route. And, it's an overthrown ball. I think the timing got disrupted here because Zay's going to take contact. So he's going to come in and tuck behind Bateman here. Bateman's going to run a little out route. He's going to run that corner. So they're just trying to attack that boundary. They're expecting to get something like cover one man, and that's exactly what they get. So you're going to get the wide side safety is going to drop down. You're going to get the far side safety rolling over. So that's where you get your cover one, and you see he sprints out at Zay. So pretty tight coverage here. Not really like the corner gets his head back. You got the safety creeping over top. Ball basically has to land here. It's an overthrow, no doubt about it, but it's tight coverage. It's not. They kind of showed it and they didn't really explain anything, and I was kind of like, well, I'm not sure that's that bad of a miss as they were making. But then it gets even worse here. So we're 1st and 10, and no one when they're showing these plays, when they're talking about Lamar missing throws, no one's focusing on what the offensive line is doing. That's what they rely on, guys like me, the film guys, to kind of come in and take a look at that. So let's watch. We'll watch it through twice. So focus on Zay Flowers. Again, he's going to try and throw that sideline route. So that's off. And there's a separation point right there for Zay. So, uncharacteristic for Lamar. Now let's go back and watch the offensive line. So we're going to focus on the O-line, and you're going to see Lamar have to step up there. And this is the context that always gets missing live. And I find when these commentators make these comments, people just kind of run with it. So you're going to get Myles Garrett coming off the edge here against Ronnie Stanley. He's going to bend that edge. You're going to have to see Lamar step up and kind of contort his body and then reset. And when he resets, he has to step up. So he's not able to set that wide base. So focus on Lamar, focus on Myles Garrett. So right there, he's got to step up, set his base, and that little bit of disruption when you're making a throw that's 25 yards downfield can be very hard to kind of get set for. So right there, he's ready to throw that. He just doesn't have enough time or enough separation here. So as he kind of cocks the first throw, Zay's still trying to get separated there. So he's going to step up as the pressure comes right there. And you see, because there's not a whole lot of room right here, he's not able to set a wide base. And then that's when Zay starts to separate, and then that ball comes out. So, I mean, it's just one of those things where you got to kind of take a look at the whole, all facets of the game. I think him having to step up there played a very large role in terms of making that throw. That's not an easy throw. That's, air yards, sideline throw, tough one to make. Then you get this one's back on third down. You're going to see Tyler Linderbaum get blown up a little bit here, and Lamar misses that. The clear miss for sure. But you can see he's just running. It was third and 7, 3rd and 8. So they're going to try and take advantage, and Lamar's seeing this pre-snap. Rashad Bateman's got a big cushion here. So and Lamar just wants to hit the little in-breaking route, and you can see he kind of gets rushed through. Because of the Browns are going to do what they did a bunch of times. I believe that's no, it's not. Okay, so they're going to line up here. They're going to basically force Linderbaum to kick left, and they want to attack this right side of the line. They did this multiple times. We'll look at this more in the pass breakdown video that I'm going to do. So you're going to see Linderbaum's going to have to snap and get across, and Linderbaum just gets eaten up the middle, and that just forces Lamar to have to go through his progressions a little bit quicker. He's feeling that pressure. He's been sacked a few times at this point. It's that those things build up, and you can look at this and say it's excuses, but I mean it's one of those things where I just find everyone focuses on one aspect and not the protection, not the it's always missing context. So then we get into the first it's the first sack that I clipped. So this was back in Q1 210. So Lamar's going to step outside the pocket here. And, uncharacteristic to take a bad sack here. So he's going to step out. You're going to get Myles Garrett's going to come inside. I thought it was good pocket movement here. So Lamar's going to step outside the pocket. And when you step outside the pocket, you got to either get the ball out or you got to, take off, because once he steps outside, the rest of the offensive linemen don't know that. So this guy's going to come right off of Andrew Voorhees. And so does Myles Garrett come back inside. So the ball's got to come out. But when you take a look, you do have a check down right here. That's definitely what should have happened. But just 4 deep routes. And so the combination of the deep routes plus stepping outside the pocket from the inside pressure just creates kind of not a great situation. But still, nonetheless, agreed. Lamar's got to hit his check down. Better than nothing. You're not taking a sack. No doubt about it. So Lamar just kind of pressing there a little bit. Probably the pressure getting to him. Get into another one here. This is 1st and 10. So this was in the 2-minute drive. They got the ball back with 23 seconds. And again, you just see the quick pressure. Tyler Linderbaum gets destroyed again. Lamar has to throw it away. So, I felt like the offensive line play was really negatively affecting Lamar in this first half. And it's kind of every clip we've looked at, there's been pressure and a missed throw. And then you get, obviously these start to happen. So this is down in the goal line in the third quarter. Mark Andrews is going to break wide open. The ball hits him right in the hands. Grant Delpit punches the ball out. So these things will happen, but it's, again, missed throws, contributing to incompletions. I just think there's more context that needs to be explained, so that's what we're looking at. If you're still only playing on traditional sports books, you're leaving money on the table. ProfitX is America's #1 sports prediction market, a peer-to-peer exchange where you almost always get the best price. Every spread, every prop, every total, better odds because you're playing against people, not the house. My play today, I'm going with a Mike Evans anytime touchdown. $100 on that will profit you $162. It'll give you back $262. That's signing up with code ROADGraders, and you'll score up to $200 in profit cash back across your first 30 days. Download the ProfitX app or hit the link in the description because it's the smart play. Thank you to ProfitX for sponsoring. So now we get into the good stuff. So we're going to start here with the Tylan Wallace touchdown. Love this play. They're going to motion Tylan Wallace down inside of Kolar. Kolar is going to kind of chip off here, but they're going to kind of leave that guy empty after the chip. So Wallace is going to motion down. So he's going to chip and then come out, and they want to leave that guy empty because Lamar is going to roll out. So this is just a play action rollout to Derrick Henry. And I love the reason I like the motion. So you see Tylan come down. He's going to go inside of Charlie Kolar. And by doing that, it creates almost like a little pick play here. It's you don't usually see pick plays like this, but you see the corner have to step around one of the other DBs that's across from Kolar. And then Tylan's just going to bend this. And that little separation, that little route design there to have him come inside and create that pick, you see it a little bit faster here. See the corner get kind of distracted there, and Tylan just outruns him. But beautiful throw by Lamar off that guy coming down on his face. You just gotta make those plays, and he does. Then we go 1st and 10, opening play on the third quarter, and you're gonna get the nice little play action, hit Zay Flowers over the middle here, and watch Zay duck. One of the coolest plays I've seen Zay Flowers make. So when we look at Lamar's game, so he's going to come off play action, and he's just going to run that in-breaking route. Love this play design again. Mark Andrews crossing route, grabs this safety. It opens this up. Lamar's just got to make that throw over top of the second level, over top of the second in front of the third, right over top of the logo. Lamar's going to hit him, and then watch him. So Zay goes up for the ball. That safety comes back. He's going to dip his head and duck the tackle. Let's try and go slow. See his head duck? That is one of the most insane spatial awareness plays. If you guys are on Twitter, Chris Cooper posted this. That is phenomenal. Like, that's just Zay Flowers being Zay Flowers. He's taking the next step. You just absolutely love to see it. Get into second made. Should have been a touchdown. I can't believe they didn't review this play. This is going to be that deep shot to DeAndre Hopkins. So we're going to take that out. And then Lamar doing the Lamar things, right? So the pocket breaks. He does what is usually not advised and scramble backwards. But, with Lamar, let him do whatever the hell he wants. And so you're going to see Nuke over here. He's going to kind of run that outbreaking route. Lamar's taking that step back to give him time. He sees that, so he's going to just take off upfield right there as he starts to roll. And Lamar is going to throw that out to Nuke. And love these plays because what Lamar sees as Lamar is stepping up is as he rolls, and Lamar saw him go into the improvised route, he sees the DB's back to his ball, the DB's back to his to the throw. So as Nuke is going to roll upfield, Lamar sees that, and he puts this in a spot where Nuke can make a play on the ball, but no one else can. And this is what Lamar Jackson has needed. He has needed a guy that he can just throw the ball up, and he'll go find it and make a play on it. And that's exactly why they got DeAndre Hopkins. It's exactly why I was so excited about this acquisition. And there's DeAndre Hopkins making it pay 2 weeks in a row. Again, I don't know if he was down. It's hard to say. They get the ball down at the half-yard line, though. And but just a hell of a play. Hell of a play by Lamar to create that space. And obviously just an incredible play by DeAndre Hopkins. And again, that's what I wanted to see. But when you take a look at Lamar Jackson's, the reason why he threw the ball where he did, he's taking advantage of that back being to the ball, and he's putting that ball inwards where only his guy can make a play on the ball. Because if he plays that to the outside, the corner can still play up through the catch point of the receiver, but he puts it over there because worst case, if it does, worst case, I guess technically it could be intercepted. But, if DeAndre Hopkins comes back in, you could be looking at a pass interference call just because of the contact. DeAndre Hopkins has the right of way to the ball, and but he ends up making a play on it. Then we get into the touchdown, Devontae Walker here. One thing that shocked me was having Tez in 13, was it 13 person? Yeah, well, I guess 22. They got Mitchell Payton in here, the fullback in here as a tight end. So they only have one tight end or one receiver on the field, And it's Devontae Walker, not Zay or Bateman. And they're just going to run another rollout. Lamar's just going to find him in the back of the end zone. Nothing crazy there, but just nice play by Devontae to run away from his coverage. Great play design there on the rollout. Love to see that. Keep rolling here. And that play was, sorry, the Devontae Walker one was on 4th and 2. Now, here is probably the biggest play of the game. And so we're 3rd and 13. So this was after a couple of negative plays. It's the third quarter. There's 1:31 left. It's only 20-10 at this point. It really shows how the touchdown stacked up. So it's the third quarter, 2nd and 13. They're only up by 10. They end up scoring on this drive. But if they don't score on this drive, Cleveland gets the ball back. Could very easily become 20-17. Going into the fourth quarter probably by the time if they score, and things start to get a little hairy quick. And so Lamar is going to make a fantastic throw here. So again, 3rd and 13, they got to get 13 yards, and Lamar is going to get 19 off the play action play. And it's the pocket movement, and there's a signature stiff arm, and Lamar is going to put this in a position for Zay to make a play on the ball. Nobody gets open off the initial rush. Lamar is going to navigate this pocket extremely well. So you're going to get a little bit of pressure start to develop. It's going to come off of the right side here from Roger Rosengarten. Lamar's going to step up. He's going to outrun a second guy where there's pressure. He's going to get up there. A third guy is going to come for pressure. Lamar's going to stiff arm him, create some space, and he's going to make this throw after just stiff arming a guy. And, again, we're looking at air yards that he has to throw. So he's stiff arm here. He's going to throw that back to Zay. Zay works back to the ball, which we love to see. And, it's a low ball in terms of accuracy, but I'm okay with that because of, Lamar ending up on the ground, Lamar having to stiff arm through a guy. So he's going to stiff arm and then throw this while being tackled. And he does enough, again, to put the ball in a place where his receiver can make a play on it, and he gets rewarded. Guys are finally making plays. I shouldn't say finally. I mean, Zay's been making plays for a couple of years. But it just felt like one of those games where, he did have the drop in the end zone, but he also had a position where Lamar put the ball in a place where only his guy can make a play, and his guy made a play. So we love to see that. Keep rolling here. But that, again, just to kind of wrap that up, that was one of the biggest plays to me. First down there. They keep rolling. I just thought that was kind of a momentum swing to get that first down. And again, for Lamar to make that stiff arm and then that throw while being tackled is insane to me. Another good play here. He's going to fit this in the middle of the defense. Again, he's got to put this over top. I think they're cover one again. So it's cover one. They got some zone in the middle here. He's going to hit this. Lamar throws that just high enough to get over that linebacker. So again, another great play there. Keep rolling here. And we're going to get Lamar to Devontae. And this was just a pretty touchdown. So we take a look at the play design here. You're going to get Zay motioning. You got Devontae in the slot alignment. And he's just going to run, that kind of corner post route. Right there. He's going to break. Lamar's already got this ball out. He knows exactly where he's putting it. What Lamar sees, because there's that ball going out. Lamar sees Devontae coming out. He's got that leverage point here from the corner. This corner's absorbed by Zay, so he just knows that he's got nobody. I believe they're in cover one again. Got the cover one safety there, so he's going to play this to the corner of the end zone. That ball is thrown with complete anticipation. Look at when Lamar throws his ball. When the ball leaves Lamar's hands, he's on the 11 or 12 yard line. And he ends up catching it in the back of the end zone. That is anticipating your receiver. That's putting it exactly where the route's going to be run. Hell of a play by Devontae because his head doesn't come back around until he's at about the 7 or 8 yard line. So Lamar had already thrown the ball right here. I think that's the ball. That was the ball. And then Devontae tracks it after the ball was already in the air. So just one of those timing routes that that's phenomenal. Phenomenal play there. And just a great throw with anticipation by Lamar Jackson. Probably, I just said the 3rd and 13 was probably my favorite, but that was just a pretty ball. Then we get another play here with DeAndre Hopkins. As you can tell, I'm absolutely enjoying this DeAndre Hopkins on the game, being on the team. And again, it was almost the exact same thing as the first bomb to nuke. So he's going to start down at the bottom of the screen. He's going to get a little bit of that separation there. And what's the commonality here? Receiver or corner back to the ball. Lamar's already caulking to throw. He's at the 20. Lamar puts this ball up pretty early. Good God, what's going on? Okay. Lamar's going to put that ball up early. And Nuke gets his head up and tracks it. Corner never gets his head back around. So, again, Lamar throwing this with complete anticipation to his receiver, putting it in a place where, again, you're probably either getting a PI call because it's back inwards. It's not outwards, not kind of the back corner throw. It's where he has to come into it. And he has enough trust in his ball placement that he's not worried about that one high safety because he's got to cross the field so far that he knows if I place it here, he's not going to get there. So Lamar Jackson just understanding where he needs to put the ball, constantly putting the ball in a place where only his guy's going to make a play on it. And this is a game where his guys made a play on the ball. Just perfect to see. I don't know. I got really frustrated seeing some of the commentary. I want to go down and put the film behind it. So drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. How do you think Lamar Jackson played in this one? What's kind of your big takeaway? Hit that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown. And as always, thank you to Profit X for sponsoring.